Hello. Today I wanted to talk with you guys about journaling, specifically show you my journal collection and my journals, give you a glimpse into my journaling because journaling is a really big part of my life. I journal every day, usually every day, multiple times a day. I definitely journal more than I used to, but I have been consistently journaling, I'll say, for the past 15 years. I started when I was 10. I'm 25 now, so it's been going on a while, and it's something I really enjoy. Like I said, it's a big part of my life, and I would like to have journaling be a more prominent topic on this channel because it's such a big part of my life. I really enjoy talking about journaling and like watching other people's videos about journaling. I love journal collection videos, so I always wanted to make one. So here we are. So I'll just start with my first journal. I am going to show you pages or entries or spreads I have done in my journals. Not with the first few because I was 10 and 11 and 12 and stuff, and they're really cringy. So I will not be sharing those with you. I will show them to you. So anyway, here's the first one. I started this journal in 2005 when I was 10 years old. As you can see, it looks like something a 10-year-old would pick out. I got it at the dollar store for, I don't know, a few dollars. It is covered in fur, purple fur. Purple's still my favorite color. And it's got a little sequin flower, which I'm not into sequins anymore. But I even taped in a little lace ribbon for a bookmark. And I'm sure it's like got blue and pink paper, and I wrote in pencil. I've actually thought about transcribing my first few journals because they were written in pencil, and I'm not sure if they would fade or be really hard to read like way in the future. I don't like reading my first few journals because they are so terrible to go back and reread. They're so cringy. I'm so ashamed and embarrassed of myself when I read these. I'm sure that's the case for most people if they have journals from when they were children, but they're awful. So like I said, I will not be sharing any of these with you today. But yeah, first journal. I used this one. I went back and wrote this in, but I used this one from December 2005 to March 2006. I went back and wrote the dates in all of my journals, so I will show you those too. So that's the first one. My second journal is this giant thing. I got this at a Books A Million. My dad took me shopping for a journal because he was, I think, proud of me for finishing my first journal, because for a while before I finished this first one, I would start and stop different notebooks, and I had never finished one. That was the first one I ever finished. So I guess he always encouraged journaling, and I guess he was proud of me. So he took me to Books A Million and he said, just pick one out. And so I picked this thing out, and it's huge. It has got these ugly little animal print furry stickers that I put on there. And then I have a Born to Be Free sticker, which I don't know why I put that on there. But again, I will not be showing the insides of this journal to you because it's embarrassing. But this journal, and I have my full name written in the front, so I'm not going to show you the first page. But this one lasted from March 2006 to June 2006, so about a year. Oh no, just a few months, not a year. No, just a few months. This journal is kind of thick, but it only had lines on one page and it was blank on the other side, so I think it was meant for like drawing or notes of some sort. So I only wrote on one side of the page, so it didn't really last long. And then it was spiral, and the spiral like came undone, so I never got another spiral notebook. I do not like spiral at all. I like thread bound notebooks because they actually stay together. So yeah, I didn't like the size of this one either. It was really big. I remember after I finished this one, I was just like, let's get something smaller. So this is the second one, also filled with horribly cringy things. And now we come to an even cringier journal. This was my third journal. This one is covered in stickers, as you can see. I got these out of like a little vending machine. I remember at this restaurant we used to go to, I would like get a sticker every time we went and I would just stick them on my journal. They have no meaning. I just got a sticker and put them on here. And then here's the back. This journal came from Walmart. It was probably like $10. And I was really excited because I liked the looks of it. I thought it looked kind of old-fashioned with like the binding and everything. And it's fake leather, but I thought it looked so cool. This journal, I started in June of 2006 and finished in June of 2009. So this one lasted me about 3 years and I didn't even finish it. This journal actually ripped before I could finish it. And I only, like a good chunk of it was left, not written in, like that's how much was left. That's just empty, which is fine because at the end of this journal, I feel like there was a turning point in my life. At the end of this journal, I finished up with middle school and I was going on to high school. I had a just a personal issue with a friend that ended badly. And I was ready for a new start. At the end of this journal, I was glad it ripped so I could move on to something new. Felt like I was having a fresh start. This journal, the writing is much neater in this journal, but it's still kind of cringy. You know, I was 11 or 12 when I started this one. And I don't know. But at the end of this journal, there is one exciting thing about this journal. At the end of it, I went to Italy. It was like a school trip to Italy, and this small group of kids and a couple of teachers went. And my parents sent me to Italy, which I'm very grateful for. That was an amazing experience. But I didn't really describe the trip, which I'm really upset about. And there's not a lot of description of what we did or where we went. I like mentioned places that we went, but I didn't describe it in detail, which sucks because I would really like to go back and read about what we did, but I didn't write it down. I did paperclip some things in here though, so you will see a lot of this in the future journals. I love postcards and tickets and putting those things in my journals. And these are things that I saved from my trip to Italy in 2009 when I was 14, I think. So we just went to various places around Italy, Florence, Rome. We went to the Vatican, which was my favorite. St. Peter's Basilica is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. And we just had a good time. It was a fun time. And all these things are from my trip to Italy in 2009, and I have them just paper clipped into this journal. Those are for the catacombs, which is where I'm pretty sure Christians were buried, like underground. I think they were Christians that were buried there. This is the Academia, where the David is, or David, I don't know. And then a little pamphlet for Vatican City, which again, that was my favorite part. St. Peter's Basilica is just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I would love to go back to Italy. I would definitely revisit St. Peter's Basilica. So anyway, that's the first time I've had like things kind of taped into my journal or paper clipped or whatever. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot of this later on, which I'll show you. I have a lot of entries and stuff that I'm going to show you. But anyway, yeah, this journal ended. I was happy to have it end. One, because it ripped, but also because I needed a new start. So after that journal, we come to my fourth journal, and it is this. This journal I bought in Italy at a little leather shop in Florence. It was like 33 euro, I think. But I used this one for 5 years. This journal lasted me close to 5 years. I think it was 5, maybe 4 or 5. June 2009 to May 2014. And so this spans my entire high school career and then 1 year of college. So this journal, I would go like a month between each entry for a while. That's why it just spans such a long time. So this journal, I really started to put things in, mostly tickets, like tickets to concerts and everything. Like, here's an example. Yeah, here we go. So here's an example. I'm gonna cover up some of the entries. So I have tickets in here that I taped in here. That's for the Scorpions and Judas Priest. Judas Priest is my favorite band. Scorpions are this like rock metal band from Germany. I have a lot of tickets in here. I went to a lot of concerts. And yeah, this mostly is just writing. I don't like usually draw in my journals or anything. I mean, I have before, but this is mostly just writing with much better handwriting than before. But I have napkins in here from prom, from high school. Here's an example. So this is a napkin from my junior prom. And then over here, no, I lied. That's my senior prom. So here's the napkin from my junior prom, and here's the napkin from my senior prom. So that's how long it took me, that's how long a year took to fill. So I just wasn't writing as much in this journal. Just more tickets and then writing. So not super eventful with this one, but yeah, this one was like 5 years. So next journal was this one. And we are really getting into showing some different entries now. So this one was May 2014 to July 2016. And is that backward? That is backwards. Oh, it's mirrored. Oh, I wonder if that's going to show up straight when I post the video. I hope so. I hope that's not backwards when I post the video. So this notebook came with an Oberon design cover, which it came with this cover. This was my first Oberon design cover, and it came with this. So I use this. It sucks for fountain pens, by the way, which I started using fountain pens in this notebook like near the end. But yeah, that's not backwards. So anyway, this one, 2014 to 2016, so about 2 years for this one. Let's see. I've got a lot more tickets in this one. Amon Amarth, which is a metal band from Sweden, and another Judas Priest ticket. So just some tickets. Let's see. And I've just got more tickets. I taped a lot of tickets in here. This one's for Nightwish and Judas Priest again. I've seen Judas Priest quite a few times. Here's this one. I've got another ticket. This one's for Flesh God Apocalypse, which I went to go see them. Okay. I have something really funny to show you guys. So there is this band called Karak Angren. They're a black metal band from Holland, I think. I think they're from Holland. I could be wrong. But I really, really like them. We drove to Atlanta, Georgia to see them. They opened for a band called Flesh God Apocalypse. And I took a picture with them after the show. And I wanted to show you guys. So I'll take pictures like this and in my journal quite a bit. But this is me. And that's the picture I took with Karak Angren. So I even put their names down at the bottom. That was a good night. I was very happy. So then we changed tone immediately, and like a week later, maybe, my cousin, who is the same age as me, gets killed. He gets hit by a train. And my mom went down for the service, and she brought a newspaper back with an article about the event, and I put it in my journal, which it has personal info, like his name and everything. So I put that in my journal. So that happened right after that concert, which that was terrible, obviously. And then here's more writing and a picture. So I'll just show you guys this. This is me with Santa. My mom likes pictures of me with Santa for Christmas. I don't usually take pictures with Santa of my own volition, but she likes that for Christmas. So sometimes I will go to the mall and take a picture with Santa. She likes it. So, and then here we go with more things taped in. And this is a postcard from a museum that my friend and I went to. I like to tape postcards in here, and you will see a lot of postcards in here. Just a ton. I love postcards. And then we also visited I think it was a retired battleship, but I put the pamphlet in here. So I tape pamphlets, brochures, things like that in here. And that's pretty much all there is for this journal. So that one was May 14 to July 2016. Now we come to the first chunky journal, and this is my Rhodia. It is very thick, as you can see. We went to Las Vegas in this journal for my 21st birthday. It's like a tradition on my mom's side of the family. Anytime one of the girl cousins turns 21, some of the aunts and cousins will go to Las Vegas for a week. And that's mostly what's in here. This is a really heavy notebook. But this one was July 16 to December 16. So I went through this one pretty quickly. I think Rhodia, this is a Webby. I think Webbies only have like 90 pages in them, maybe. So it's really not a lot of pages. So I went through it pretty quickly. So with this one, I have a lot of stuff in here to show you guys. Anywhere that there's a little tab is a page that I'm going to show you. So let's see. Here are some little images that I taped in of some pictures that my friend and I drew, or we did it on paint. I went to her house one time, we were bored, so we pulled up Bob Ross and then did what he painted on paint on the computer. And that's what we came up with. Here's mine. So that was fun. That's just the types of things I put in here. I'll put anything in here. Don't have anything there. So here we went to the zoo. I'm going to cover up some of the pages because one half of the page might have like personal info that I don't want you guys to see, but the other half is just postcards or something like this. So here's a bunch of postcards I put in here. This is for the zoo we went to, the Louisville Zoo in Kentucky. That's where I'm from. And I just taped in a bunch of postcards, and that's a good way to save space because I wanted to save space in this notebook. Usually I like using up space, but I'll just stack them on top of one another so I can flip through them. Here is some little pictures. I'm trying to cover up part of this entry because I don't want you to see it, but here's like something I would do. I would just print out tiny little pictures where I used to work. I used to work at like a printing shop kind of thing, and I would just paste them or tape them in my journal. I don't paste, I tape. And then here's some. A best friend went to New York one summer, and she sent me back a bunch of postcards from New York that I taped in here. These are, I would just like stack them on top of one another and tape them, and I could like flip through them. And then, okay, now we come to Las Vegas. So I wrote a lot about Las Vegas, and I put a lot of stuff in here about Las Vegas. So this is what the first page looks like. I have a lot of stuff in here. I have a pamphlet from the Grand Canyon. Or not a pamphlet. This is actually a map that I paper clipped in here, and it's huge. So that's how big that is. And I just paper clipped it in my journal. And then I have a notice of baggage inspection by the TSA because they rifled through my shit on the plane. And then I have on the next page a pocket map paper clipped in of the Grand Canyon. And a photo that I'm going to remove. And then just tickets. We went to the Mob Museum, which was my favorite part, by the way. I'm not into drinking or gambling or anything. I wanted to go to the museums. So I just have a little armband from the Mob Museum. I have a receipt. I have a ticket from the Tournament of Kings, which is like a jousting dinner show type of thing, which I enjoyed. On the next page, we have more ephemera. We've got some postcards from the Grand Canyon and Las Vegas, just in general, I think. I'm gonna drop all this. So we got a postcard, Las Vegas postcard, and then more tickets, just random stuff. Let me put this back in here. And then, let's see, I've got more postcards and more tickets in here. So I've got, let's see, just a bunch of postcards. I like postcards, if you haven't noticed. I love putting them in my journal. We went to the aquarium. We went to see Chris Angel. My aunts wanted to see him. I did not care about seeing him. And then this is a little ticket for the monorail. So that's that. And then after we got back from Las Vegas, we went to go see Black Sabbath. So I have the ticket in there. And I drew a little image of the stage and where we were sitting in the crowd. Here's some more images. I just printed a bunch of photos from Las Vegas, the Grand Canyon, things like that, and taped them in. Maybe like a day or two later after we got back. And then here is this page. So I have this covering the text because I have things in here I don't want you to see, but I did want to show you guys this page and how many postcards I have on this page. That's how I put my postcards. And I've got like 10 postcards here. And I don't want to, there's so many, so I'm not going to flip through them. But that is a good way to stack the postcards. And it's a really good way to bulk up your journal. I think that's close to being it. I've got one more thing to show you out of this one. So we went to see Lorena McKinnon in Nashville, Tennessee. And this is just, again, ephemera from when we went. And then there's the ticket. We had to go see her. This is her. She is an amazing artist, by the way. If you don't know her, she has like, sings like world music, or I don't know if that's what you would call it, but it's really good. I love her. And then just some pictures I took. I had a really crappy phone then, so the pictures are just god awful. But I just like putting pictures in there. So that is the Rhodia. And she's a big one. After that, we come to my first Leuchtturm. This one is December 16 to March 2018. And starting with this one, which is the journal before the Rhodia, I started putting Leuchtturm archival stickers on because I bought a lot of Leuchtturm. Leuchtturm used to be my favorite journal or notebook, so I bought a lot of them, so I have a lot of those stickers. So now all of my journals, except the fur one, and the second one, and maybe the third and the fourth. The first 4 don't have the sticker, but the rest do and will. So this one, I just have a couple things to show you, just how I use my journal. I used it for swatching inks when I got some new inks, probably from Goulet at this point. And this one's mostly just writing some stuff taped in, not a lot. We went to New Orleans on vacation in the summer of 2017. I taped a map of New Orleans in there. And then I have some more postcards taped in. And that's pretty much it for this one. There's nothing really interesting in here. There's not a lot of stuff that I put in here. As you can see, it's not chunky. The next Leuchtturm is this one. This one is March 2018 to July 2019. So I'm getting a little faster with my journals. The Rhodia doesn't count because it only had 90 pages. But these are thick journals. They have like 249 pages. So these could take me a while to fill up. But I've got a lot of stuff in here to show you too. And I'm so sorry. This video is going to be really long. But I personally like sitting through really long videos about stuff like this. So I'm sure there's people out there who will enjoy watching this. So again, went to see a concert. At this point, I had met my boyfriend. We have been together for 3.5 years now. I met him at the end of the last journal I just showed you. So I think this is our first concert together. No, I think this is on our second. But we went and saw Avatar at somewhere in Nashville. I don't remember where. And then we went and played mini golf with his mom. And I have our little score thing in there to keep track. Let's see. Now this journal was when I started to put a lot of useless things on the pages. I got a free subscription to Better Homes and Gardens, and when I got that magazine, I started to cut out images and just tape them into my journal. And I did it like every other page. My journal filled up real fast. And this is like just the stuff that I would tape in here. Random stuff that I maybe liked the look of or the colors. But I don't know, just didn't like it doesn't mean anything to me. I was just putting it in there, maybe to fill up space. I don't know. I would try to match the ink that I was using. I was using fountain pens, obviously, at this point. Try to match colors. Like, I don't know why I did this. I just would put random things in here. Let's see. Here's one. I would just cut out random images and put them in here. This is really important to me, and I want to show you guys. So this is a newspaper clipping. I used to work with a guy at my first job, and then he quit that job and he went to another job, and then he eventually got me to go to that job. And he put in a good word for me, and I got hired, and I enjoyed the job, and it has led to like a career for me. But I knew him for probably 4 years, and then he moved away out west for retirement, into like a retirement community. And he would send me clippings that he thought was interesting, or articles, things like that. And he sent me this newspaper clipping. And I kept the Post-it that he sent me. And it was an article in an Arizona magazine about Goulet pens. And it has an interview with Brian Goulet. I think it does. Yes. It has an interview in it with Brian Goulet, which is crazy. He knew I was really into fountain pens. He actually had gifted me some fountain pens that were his mother before he left. So this was very special to me. And I'm really glad I kept it because like a month later, my old supervisor, we moved away, but my old supervisor called me and told me that he had died. He had had a medical emergency and gone into surgery, but they had not been able to save him. So I'm really glad I kept that. It didn't seem significant at the time, or when I was putting it in, I wasn't thinking to myself, oh, this will be good to remember him by. I just put it in there because I was like, oh, it's something I can stick in my journal, bulk it up some. But I'm really glad I kept it, because that means a lot to me looking back now, to see that he thought of me. You know, we were friends, and he would send me things like that. So I'm really glad I kept that. And then, let me see. So here's a page. I got a pen from Scriptorium Pens and I designed it. And here is what I had been thinking of. I put the design of what I was thinking of in here. And then I just have a bunch of little Goulet postcard things that I taped in there. So that is that journal. And then next we have another Leuchtturm. I think that one was too big for me. I wanted to slim it down a little, so I got a soft cover Leuchtturm next, which has like half the pages. But I bulked this one up too. This one was July 2019 to September of 2019. So this one I just flew through. And this one I started really going crazy with the ephemera, the washi tape, nonsense, just to fill up the pages, just to bulk it up. I wanted a bulky journal. I love the aesthetic of that. And here's the first spread I did. I'm really into history, so there will be some historical stickers throughout here. But this is the first spread I did. And I really liked it. And like, here's another page from this journal. And I would just, like, I experimented with this particular journal. I painted, like, I don't know. I made that. I hate that. I don't know why I did that. I don't know. I guess I was experimenting with how I could layer things. I don't like it. I regret trying to do these things because ultimately I don't care about these things. Like just trying to fill pages with nonsense that doesn't mean anything to me. I wasn't doing it to calm down or to relax. I was just doing it because I thought that's what looked aesthetic, which that's not what journaling is about to me. So I eventually stopped doing this. Like what? I don't know what that is. Like, here's another one. I was just trying to fill pages and make the journal big, which is not a good reason to keep a journal, in my opinion. I do have some meaningful stuff in here. I have a card that was given to me whenever my boyfriend and I moved from my boss, wishing us good luck. Here's a spread I did. I used like metallic pens here instead of fountain pens. And then near the end of this one, I think I was getting tired of this journal, so I just started really taping all sorts of stuff in just to get it to fill up. So that was that one. Again, no longer doing stuff like this. I don't like it. So now we come to this journal. This is from September 2019 to May 2020, so we're catching up. This is also a soft cover Leuchtturm. It's got a little leather sticker on here. This is a Coach leather sticker. It's a little dinosaur. I love dinosaurs a lot. And then I have the date written on the one of the first pages. This one I was still decorating with like Better Homes and Gardens images, but there were some spreads I did that were just normal, that actually meant something, or that I was trying to document. So my boyfriend and I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, which we no longer live there, but I mean, we live near, but we don't live in Nashville anymore. But whenever we moved there, I was really excited. I wanted to go to the Parthenon, which is a replica kind of the Pantheon in Athens. I think it's in Athens. Yeah, because it's Parthenon. But anyway, we went and I wrote an entry about it. This is a clipping from the pamphlet. There's a little museum in the Parthenon. And then I took a picture. We went to the park and walked around. I took another picture of a little statue in there. And then I made a spread with items from the pamphlet they gave us and some postcards. Now this is a spread I can get behind. I like this spread. I'm proud of this spread. I wrote Athena's name in ancient Greek. And then I have some postcards. And then I have our receipt from when we went. And I used some like gold and bronze colored washi tape. And then I cut out a little piece from the pamphlet that they gave us. So that's the type of stuff I do now. I don't just put random crap in my journal just to fill it up, because I feel that's not genuine. So here's another not genuine page where I was just trying to fill her up. Let's see. Here is a page. I will cover, let me cover this side up. I want to show you guys this. So I quit my job. I transferred to a new job whenever we moved to Tennessee. And I quit the job I transferred to and began a new job. And before I left, my coworkers, who I'd worked with for just a few months, took me out to eat. And this is the little spread I made. I don't want to show them because I don't know if they'd want their faces shown. But this is the little spread I made. This is hard to see. And we just went out and eat. One of them took pictures of me and I just printed them out, made a little spread. That's a spread I like. I'm happy with that spread because it means something to me anyway. And then here's like a typical journal entry or spread, I don't know, page. I've just got a picture of my boyfriend and me out when we were walking in a park. And then I've got a little Lamy pamphlet. Again, I don't know why I put this in here, but a lot of my entries, if I have images, are just going to be like something like that and then writing. So nothing too fancy anymore. I have my economic impact payment taped in here, the first one. And then I've got another spread after that featuring Anne Boleyn. Let's see. And then here's just a mishmash of nonsense again. I twisted my ankle, so I took a picture of it. If you want to see how big that right ankle is swollen. I twisted it that badly, and then like 2 weeks later I tried to go walking again in the woods and I twisted it again. It was terrible. But here's some more examples of me just trying to fill pages. At this point, it was in this journal, I realized I didn't like doing this anymore, so I was trying to use up the ephemera I had, or washi tapes I had, because I didn't want to do it anymore. So that actually ends this journal. I did try to begin a couple of journals after this one, but I ended up not liking them, so I ripped out the pages and taped them into the back of this one. Or not taped them, I paper clipped them. So that is that one. And now we come to my current journal. 40 minutes in. This is my current journal. It is in a Superior Labor leather notebook cover, which I had this in my Baumkuchen unboxing or haul video. If you watch that, I'm loving this cover, by the way. Loving it. Oh, here's the journal. So this is my Musubi Atelier journal. It is like a gray linen cover. It has Tomoe River paper in it, 52 GSM. I've got some stickers on it, some mask stickers, Rickshaw Bag Works, things like that. And this journal is mostly just writing, and I like it that way. I think I'm done with like trying all the spreads and stuff, and it's just writing, and that is so beautiful to me. I love just writing, just your thoughts, your emotions, what's going on. I much prefer that now. More writing and changing ink colors. I'll change ink colors. And then I do still have pictures in here. We went on a little mini trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I took pictures of us. This was in October, and I kind of regret it. Like, I did enjoy it, but I also kind of regret it because nobody was wearing masks anywhere. But we went hiking where there weren't a lot of people. We went to this adorable little place called Laurel Falls. Had a really good time up there. Here we are at the Crime Museum. I'm super interested in crime and like punishment, like that kind of like through history. I did a speech on it in college about like the history of punishment, crime, things like that. It's really interesting to me to know how mankind has handled that stuff. So we went to that museum, we went to the aquarium, and that's that. And then more writing. I am super happy just writing now. I don't feel like I'm being, I don't know, what's the word? I don't feel pressured into trying to make anything pretty anymore or something that I would want to go back and admire. I don't care. I just want to write now. That's all I care about. If something happens or we go somewhere or I get some sort of ephemera that is relevant to what's going on, I'll put it in here. But for the most part, I just write. That's what makes me happy now, is just writing. And I did doodle some on this page. Just things that I had sitting on my desk. I used some like watercolor pencils I had bought, which I want to get back into drawing. I used to draw quite a bit. So yeah, those are my journals. It was probably it's super long, but I also feel like it was rushed. I don't know. And maybe no one cares, but I really wanted to make a video about my journals or my journal collection. I do want to make more videos in the future about journaling, like maybe just more thoughts on journaling instead of just showing you my journals. But here they all are. It's a big stack. It's really heavy, but I'm gonna get new storage for them too, because what I have now is too small. Just pull the hair. But anyway, if you are still here, I applaud you. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was probably a really boring video, but I wanted to make a video about this. So again, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.